You know what I'm saying? And it's going to be hard to swallow. It's going to be hard to digest. One thing that me personally, I will say yet again, and I'll continue to say this, us as a people need to stop canceling each other for
Each other.
mistakes
That's
and
right.
counseling each other.
You know that canceling. I agree with that. That whole statement there. You know, the whole canceling thing is it's not of us.
No,
But we decided to what's
join the
word?
pack.
Yeah, because it's like we really enjoy what the art is bringing us.
But you don't want to be called a racist. You don't want to be called a bigot. You don't want to be called certain things. So you know what some people
I
will do?
voted for Trump, and I was called a racist
Ah,
before he got in.
ah.
I even said, I hope everybody should, and I hope y'all have voted for the man,
Me, I didn't.
the orange man, and I got
did.
flack after flack. So it's okay when you're telling the truth. 2 years later, the real comes out that he had better policies than this man who you have now put in that.
No,
that
of course.
presidency.
They say he had better policies than Obama. Do you know what I mean?
So isn't this the same though? Because Obama couldn't help the black people.
No, his hands were tied.
His hands were tied. He had the record deal.
Yeah,
Trump was an independent.
yeah.
That's the difference right there. Obama had hundreds more millions. Let's say a lot more money
Yeah.
than tied and invested in him than Trump did. Because Trump pretty much was a self-made billionaire, and he made his medias happen.
Well, I wouldn't say he was self. His daddy loaned him some money, but I'll let it slide.
Sure.
I'm just saying, like,
I'm saying from the other medias, they were not investing in him. It
Yeah.
was like 9-1 or 10-1 or something like that. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? So like, if you're of one party with the record deal, you get all the doors. Every media talks great of you. Blah blah blah.
yeah,
Right? You get to
Yeah.
go through everything. Right? You get to go to all the meetings. They pay for everything for you. But if you come in as independent and say that you're not going to be a part of the record deal,
yeah. There's
And-
a problem.
there's a problem.
Yep.
Yeah. So that's exactly what we're talking about. But you could relate it to almost anything now because
Yeah.
the doctors and the nurses went through that through COVID.
Yeah.
They were a part of the record deal too.
Yeah. Like people, when we say record deal, we're not speaking generally about music. We're using that analogy for everything in life so that you guys can understand that, like I said, freedom is never free. We'll give you the nice house and the car, but you got to do this for us. And if you don't do this, then we take that away.
Take away the nice.
Do you know what I mean? Now, if you want to be independent, you say, listen, I'm going to walk for 10 years.
Might take you
The
longer.
next 5 years, I'm gonna be riding a bike. Next 5 years after that, I get myself a beater. 10 years from and listen, yet again, I know I'm exaggerating.
No, but you're right though. It's not going to be express lane. It's
Yeah.
going to be a lot more
Lot more work.
walking, trial and error, and you're going to have to walk through it yourself at times.
Yeah.
Because the people who are owning this so-called record deal, they don't want to show you the way to being independent.
Here's something I want a gem I got for y'all. I got this from a post, and this guy was smart. He's talking about financial literacy. The lion or the gazelle's not going to tell the lion how to catch a gazelle. Why would he do that? Right? It's the same thing when it comes to all the stuff we're talking about. Some of these people on the higher up, they're not going to show the poor people how to get anywhere near where they're at because for them, we are the commodity.
And you're driving me back to the first point. You're right.
We are the commodity. If we don't know no better, we can't do no better. But as we grow and as we learn this knowledge, it's better for us to pass it on to influence people around us and build our circle up. Do you see what I'm saying?
Okay. I'm thinking that long term. That long term
Long
game
term.
is better. Yeah.
The long-term game is always going to be better because I'll say it again. Nipsey Hussle said it, and it's the truth. It is a marathon, not a sprint. You see?
Yeah.
So, like, we can't be on this, I want it now.
Right.
You know what I mean? I had that when I was young. I had that thought, I want it now. I want it. now. And then I started realizing, yo, man, you know, and shouts out to my little Brody that helps edit these podcasts because he, in the dream of me wanting to do this, shout out to GG44 again too, the two of them, including my cousin Da Vinci, they sat me down and said, you really want to do this, okay? I said, yeah. So we'll stop talking about it, be about it.
I heard that.
You know what I mean?
It's that
Oh,
independent
okay.
road.
You need this? Here's half the guap. Find the rest. You want to do this? You know, you want to put these episodes out the way they are? My brother said, sit down and learn how to edit. You know what I mean? Get the equipment so you can not cut corners, but make certain things easier so that you can put stuff out at a high quality without having to pay John, Joanne, and Janine.
Hold on. So you took the independent.
Yeah.
So you know that if you would have sat here and took the record deal side of things of the podcast, let's say the deal of side of the podcast, you know they wouldn't let you speak
The way I
certain
wanted
things.
to. Yeah. Of course. I've been called misogynistic. I've been called racist. I've been called a lot of things.
Which one are you more satisfied with? Which one do you believe is better?
I believe the independent route is better because it's, for me, I don't need to be rich. I need to be wealthy. And being wealthy is having good people around me, no more suffering. The next generation after me doesn't have to do what I have to do. The next generation after me can, you know, become scientists, become doctors, become the next group of people
Okay.
to push our culture, to push our living to a higher standard. Now, I hope that in me doing this, that they don't become so lazy and lackadaisical that they think everything's easy. Because guess what?
What?
You know what I mean? I can say this honestly. Me and my Brody have dumped $10K in equipment alone
Yeah.
to make
Studio.
this possible.
You're right.
I haven't seen $1 yet, and I'm okay, baby. You want to know why? Because if I don't work on my craft, how people supposed to respect it? I can't expect everybody to jump on board and want to pay me money for this game I'm giving out. I'm giving out $1 million a game for free. Shout out to Gilly the Kid and Wallow too, man. No copyright. Don't do that. All right? Right? I'm joking. Anyways, but you know what I mean? Building things from the ground up for me has always felt so much better. Shout out to Dynamite Boxing Club too. They host the Uppercuts podcast. It's coming out again soon. We kind of chilled back on that for a minute. But, you know, your net worth is going to be based off your network.
I bet.
You see, and when you're independent, your net worth is going to be your network.
Oh, definitely. I hear that.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, yeah,
It still comes to who you know,
how the relationship
how they
is,
show up. Yeah.
how you deal with people, how you handle stressful
true.
situations, and how you conduct yourself. Now, if I hold myself to a high standard, it's not fair for me to hold you to the same standard. But if we have the conversation before we start anything, and I say, I'm going to hold you accountable the same way you need to hold me accountable, then we have an understanding, which means if I don't do my job, we don't eat. You see
Right.
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I can't come to you now and start crying about, oh, I ain't eating. Well, did you do the work? Well, this came up. No. We all have the same 24 hours, baby.
So
It's all about what you do with
That's the independent right there.
it. Yep.
Because you could almost see that there would be a total alignment when it comes to a record deal. And if there was no alignment, if there was somebody out of line, shall I say, that person would be dealt with
Accordingly.
accordingly to, because there's so much on the line. And so maybe the independent should be almost thinking exactly the way the record deal should be thinking, but without the curtailing of speech or the curtailing of the creativity or the actual trying to own somebody else's art. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
no, of course. But yet again, right? It goes to the council culture. Hey, prime example. Your son does something wrong. Back in the day, our parents used to bust us up.
Bust ahead.
Bust us up.
Heard it.
Now,
Go ahead.
us as parents, we'd rather sit our children. Like one thing I tell my daughter all the time: good behavior begets. She goes, good rewards. bad behavior begets, she goes, bad rewards. I said, okay, you understand that. You're only 7 years old, and I'm not expecting you to know right from wrong right away. But I do want you to start to understand that if you act a certain way, it will affect you, and it may affect others around you. So as much as I'm an individual,
and that's an actual worth.
Even though I'm an individual and we're doing this podcast together, if I'm out here doing some crazy ish and they come now and they come watch the pod, they go, oh, there's that crazy dude. Oh, the guy beside him, he knew everything he was doing. He crazy too.
Immediately. Association.
Without even seeing
right.
if you were privy to those things. Because remember, like I said, right? People got skeletons in their closet. Some people aren't the same people they were 10 years ago. Some people are. They just hide it better.